Hi, it's Melissa. Welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a layout that is the latest sketch reveal over at Let's Get Sketchy. So that's a sketch there by Brent Chevier, and that's a look at my layout. I use the Love Always collection by Cocoa Vanilla Studio. Now, I've been really sick and I didn't get my layout done in time to be posted on the design team blog, but what I have done is played along anyway, and I'll just link it up to everyone else's layouts and just have my name as design team. So I'm not competing for the prize or playing along for the prize. I'm just playing along because I love a sketch. So first of all, please ignore the bruises on my hands. I have been in hospital. I've been really sick, and with the pregnancy again, I had to go to our base hospital 2 hours away, and they had a lot of trouble getting the lure or the drip needles and etc. into my hands because I was so dehydrated that my veins collapsed. So that's why my hands look really bruised. So anyway, onto the layout. So here I'm just cutting the triangles down, and I got a bit precise because I wanted them to look how they were on the sketch, which is very precise triangles. So I just worked out the size that I wanted, found the center, and then I realised when I'd cut it that it was way too big, so I'm just trimming it down and making sure that it doesn't meet in the middle and that it's not too big. So for the second triangle, I'm just cutting it with my scissors, and I can't be bothered measuring it and doing it again. I'm not into perfection, and this pretty much just cuts the same size anyway. So this collection by Cocoa Vanilla Studio is absolutely gorgeous. I bought it from the Paper Teapot here in New Zealand, and I was really excited to see that they had a whole lot of it. And it was actually Nay from Hey Nay Daily, when she did a haul video showing this beautiful collection. It was one that I just had to have some of, and so Paper Teapot doesn't have the whole collection, they have some of it and a lot of it. So I just went through and picked the papers that I loved, and I think I got 2 of every paper that I loved, and I got the chipboard, the embellishment pack, and I can't remember the exact name of the pack, but I think they're like bits and pieces. It's this gorgeous pack of resin flowers, sequins, bows, and gems, and I just had to have that. So here I'm just working on positioning my triangles. I really want a T-square ruler, but I still haven't been able to find one here. So I'm just using my metal ruler to make sure I get these 2 pieces lined up exactly. And happy with how that's looking. So this is a really, really old photo of Sean and I. It was in a frame in our house, but I like to change up my photos every now and then, and so I took the photo out, and I love it because it's taken, I think it would have been 2004, so the year after we got married, and it's at my parents' house. The house is white, and we're just wearing black, I think. So very much neutrals, which meant that I could pretty much scrap this photo with any collection I wanted because there wasn't much colour in the photo. So I wanted to add some of this blue, so I've just matted my photo on that lovely piece of blue paper. And the sketch showed a larger piece of matte behind the photo, but I decided not to do this. The sketch also showed a square photo, and my photo is obviously not a square. And I really wanted to use this photo. I like to make the sketch work for me, so I'm just going to modify my layers and have them more in line with my style anyway, which is a lot more layers than what's shown on the sketch. So I think I've said it before, but don't be afraid to use the sketch as a starting point or a jumping off point. And then I like to just let my style take over. So I've used one of the cut aparts off the cut apart sheet. I had some white vellum. I think if you've watched my videos before, you'll know that this was intended for last year's December daily, but I was meant to do like an Advent journaling thing on these, and I didn't do it. So I love the white vellum, so I'm just using it as layering pieces behind my photos, and I think this was probably the last piece that I have left. So I needed some more layers, but because I don't have all the papers, I needed to pull some more layers from this cut apart sheet, and I like this grey and white stripe. I think it works really well with the papers that I've selected, which is that, I think it says Love Forever Always. That's the print on the background paper. And the other triangle is just a grey with little white hearts. And then the other one is a really pretty, very soft, delicate watercolour pink look. So I'm just using some double-sided tape to stick my layers down. And I've started to use tweezers to pull the double-sided tape off because I've just done my nails, and I find that if pulling the double-sided tape, the backing off the adhesive can wear these nails down pretty quickly. So I've also kind of gutted out the middle of these cut apart so I can use them in other parts of the layout. So I needed something else to go at the bottom, so I'm using some more of that grey and white stripe, and I've just roughly cut it, and I'm using the straight edge from what I cut apart. So it's starting to come together now. It's like the bones of the layout. And now I'm looking at the embellishments. So this is the chipboard sheet. And I love the way the chipboard just punches out, so you can still have the backing on the paper on the back. That way you're not having to commit until you know for sure. Did think about using that little love ticket, but in the end it doesn't make it. So this photo, like I said, was taken probably 12 years ago now, and we had, this is way before we had kids. We'd flown up to Auckland where my parents live, and we were attending my husband's granddad's 90th birthday. And the funny part of the story is that we obviously hadn't looked at the details of the invitation. We booked our flights to be able to fly out in the afternoon of what we thought the party was in the evening, but of course, being a 90-year-old man, party was a lunchtime party, so we had to change our flights or we would have missed it. And, you know, when you're young, you just assume that everybody has their parties in the evening, but an older person is more likely to have one at lunchtime, so I think we had to pay an extra $50 or something and get our flights changed. So now I'm wanting to colour match. I'm just loving these watercolours so much, they're from close to my heart, and I wanted to do the packaging technique with colour that's going to match the blue that's matted behind my photo, because I didn't want to do pink. I've been doing a lot of pink lately, as you know, and I just wanted to bring in some more of that blue to really pull out the blue in that paper that I've backed it with. So I'm just doing it there. And I love the packaging technique because you really can't go wrong. And so what I did was just mark with a pen where the area of my photo and layers would be. And then I just test it and see whether it's going to be enough. What am I trying to say? I hold my photo up, my papers, over where the watercolour is, and then I saw that I needed to add some more at the top, so I'd kind of pushed it too far below the line when I really should have pushed up to the top, but it doesn't matter, it all works out. And I love the way that looks in the end. Then I decided to add some teal Heidi Swap Colour Shine once it was dry, and I think that just adds the perfect amount of sparkle and a bit of a deeper blue. And now I'm at the point of adhering my photo down, so more double-sided tape again, and my trusty close to my heart tweezers. I thought it would take a while to pull that backing off that tape with tweezers, but I think it's even quicker than if I use my fingernails. So here I'm committing to sticking my photo down and my layers. And so for my title, because I've got a few layers there, I just needed to add a little dimensional just on the top, just to even it out. And that it says forever and always, and the paper, or the pattern of flowers, is actually the one paper I didn't get. One of the papers was the bold floral, and so I love the way that's quite bold against the softness of the rest of the layout. That little what I'm using as my title. So here I'm doing my journaling, and I, at this point, thought we were up for his funeral. I know that sounds really awful. I've just talked about his party. I thought we were up for his funeral. And now that I realise I didn't even go to his funeral, so I don't know why I thought that I was there for that. But anyway, I will go back, I think, off camera when Sean corrects me and says no, it's not his funeral, it's his birthday. I'll go back and on that little black label that you can see there, I'll just rewrite the journaling and stick it over the top. And I even layer it in such a way that you can see the top pink border of that label. So now I'm sticking down some of the word phrases and stickers, and at this point, of course, still thinking that it's a funeral we're going to, I didn't want to put anything like remember this moment forever or anything that would be contradictory to what my journaling was. So I just put, let's see, I put love you, you complete me, always, and the cluster I'm just building there on the left, I'll put another one on there that says together. So these are the, I guess, bits and pieces or ephemera. They're absolutely beautiful. I just love this collection so much. This collection is totally not my normal style. As you know, I like bright. I probably like quite young, like scrapping my kids. I like the younger kind of collections, if that makes sense. But this one is just stunning, and I'm just really loving playing with it. I have made another layout that's coming up for the cut shop, I think next week, from this collection, so be on the lookout. I've got a video for that one as well. But I just love the softness and the prettiness of this, and I think that it can work for so many different themes, not just love-based layouts. So you get a lot in this pack. You even get more than this because, like I said, I've already made a layout. I could just do with a full pack of these flowers. I love that you get the like the filled in ones, and then you also get some that are die cut, like that one there. So I did think about using that one with the die cut pieces on it, but I wanted to save it, and I thought it's going to get lost, and I really wanted whatever element I placed on top to be popped up, so I've gone with this heart, and just moving it over so it crosses over onto my photo. And because I added a little arrow on the left side, I wanted to add one on the right, so that the aim with this entire page is to draw your eye into my photo. And I think that the combination of the triangles and the embellishment does this. So I've got two clusters happening so far. I've got the one on the left, the bigger one. I've got the one on the bottom right. And now I'm just building a smaller cluster on the top right. So there I'm adding the little word together. And I've used these tiny little dimensional adhesive just to pop underneath my words. And I've done that on a couple of them. I think the You Complete Me, which hangs off the right side, I've put extra dimension on there as well. So then I found these little hearts, so I've put some of them on. I'll add another one to the left cluster now. Once again with a little bit of dimension. Sometimes I really struggle with building my clusters and layering, but this collection is just so easy to use, and this layout came together really easily for me, for once. So these are the, I can't remember what they're called, but what the pack is called, but it's absolutely gorgeous. You get charms and bows, tassel, sequins, there's a doily, you get beautiful resin flowers, and I just love that Cocoa Vanilla is including these little packs in their collections. So I'm adding the sequins. I don't show the gluing down of all of this. What you miss also is I add some tinsel colour shine, which I got recently, and it goes perfectly with this collection. There are some close-up photos coming up, and of course my final layout. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm hoping to get back to a more regular video making session now that I'm feeling a lot better. So yeah, welcome to my new subscribers as well, and have an awesome day.